for loop which is used to execute some code, some part of the code repeatedly when the condition is satisfied. See, a loop means it is a group of statements we can execute repeatedly. That is only a loop. But every loop, there will be some syntaxes, there will be some of the conditions we need to satisfy. So some of the loops, pre-tested conditions means first it will check the condition. If it is satisfied, it will execute repeatedly. And some of the loops, if it is not satisfied the condition also, it will take at least once into the execution. Later only it will test the condition. Both types are available. So for loop syntax, yesterday we have seen and executed the programs. First we need to initialize some variables. Later we need to check the condition, and obviously after that only, either depending on the program, we can increment or decrement the variable value. Okay. See, some of the programs we have been already executed in yesterday's lab. So now what will we do is we'll see the remaining loop statements. Yesterday we have seen for loop. We have 3 loops in C programming. Okay, frequently we are going to use 3 loops. Okay, so for loop we have seen. Similarly, for remaining 2 loop statements in C programming also, we'll see first of all with the syntax. We'll discuss the working process along with the flowchart. Later only we'll see the examples. Okay, so now we'll see in this class regarding the while loop statement first. Okay, so while loop, just like a for loop, it is also executes repeatedly a block of statements. So let us say I want to execute a single statement for 100 times. I can do it. I want to execute some block of statements for 100 times. Yes, I can do it. I should write some condition. Still the condition is satisfied. It is true. I can execute repeatedly, iteratively some set of statements. If the condition fails, obviously the control will exit from the while loop. See, every looping statement, obviously it will have some condition. Okay, so there will be some cases like if it is satisfied, what group of statements need to be executed repeatedly. If it is fails, obviously you should exit from the while loop. That will be specified in loop statements. Okay, see into this first point. As you know that you have to write in the notes and you have to share the screen. I mean picture of your notes. No, write down. See, the purpose of while loop statement, write this first statement, it is enough. While loop in C programming is to repeat a block of statements for given number of times until the condition becomes false. Right? So if a condition is true, then only the loop is going to be starts its own execution for specified number of times the block of the code. If a condition becomes false, the control will exit from the loop. Right? So I repeat, a loop means iteratively, repeatedly, you can execute a block of statements. Okay, and one more important point here, while loop is an entry controlled loop. Entry controlled loop.
Madam, board.
Ma'am, screen down. Ma'am, screen.
Board.
Yes, screen you're missing.
Screen, ma'am.
Microsoft
Wait.
whiteboard అని వచ్చింది మ్యామ్.
Yes, ma'am.
Wait. Just a minute. Somebody has, yes, now you check it. Yes.
Screen, no ma'am.
Now,
No,
now, now
ma'am.
check.
No, ma'am.
Now also you're
No,
not
ma'am.
getting. Yeah.
No,
Not
ma'am.
No,
getting,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
It came, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yeah. Wait. Again, I'll show you. Wait. Is it okay?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay,
Yes.
ma'am.
Okay. So this is what a while loop, and let us see another name for while loop is pre-tested loop statement. Pre-tested loop statement is nothing but first we'll check the condition. Okay, before executing the set of statements which has been written in the while loop, first of all we are testing the condition. If a condition is satisfied, then only the block of statements are being executed. Still, the condition becomes fails. It is continuously executing the statements. That is about a while. Okay. See, the block of statements is executed in while loop until the condition specified in the while loop is satisfied. Okay. And look at here the syntax. First, we need to initialize. Okay. Initialization means I can take like I is equal to 0. I is equal to 10. Based on my logic of the program, based on my problem statement, I can initialize the variable value. After initialization only, I can start my while loop and I should write here the condition. All of you write in your notes the syntax. And once this condition, whatever here I am showing, no, so once if you are satisfied the particular condition, you can actually execute the code. Okay. So, but without satisfying the condition, you are not allowed to enter into the while loop. And after that, you can specify either to increment or decrement. Okay. See, we know, right? Even in for loop, what we did, even in for loop, we have to first initialize, later condition need to be verified, and after that only you should go for incrementation or decrementation. Okay, but here observe in while loop, we are first specifying the initialization here. After that, you have to use while, it is a keyword. Now you have to check the condition and you have to write the statements which are to be executed here. And later, either for incrementation or decrementation, you have to specify. Okay, let us see the working process with representation of a diagram. Okay, see here in this diagram, if you observe, we have been already noted like it is a pre-test condition, which is a entry controlled loop statement, I said, which is a pre-tested loop. Pre-tested is nothing but what? We have to test a condition first of all. If the condition when you are testing, it is true, then only you have to execute the block of statements. Very simple. So that is the reason we have represented the working process of a while loop in C programming. Okay. First, the condition. Observe here. The condition, how can we represent using the diamond symbol? If the condition is satisfied, if it is a true, obviously we have to execute the either single statement or block of statements. But again, after executing every time your statement, it has to check, go back and check whether the condition is satisfied or not. Okay, see, it is executing the condition satisfied for the first time, it is executing the statement. Again, after that, it will check the condition for second time. And if it is true, it will execute the statement like that repeatedly. So loop is nothing but what? Like this every time it check the condition, execute the statement, check the condition, executing the statement like that. So repeatedly it will continue the same. Okay, so execution part, still the condition become failure. Once the condition becomes failure, obviously it will comes where it will comes to the out of the loop. There is no execution for the looping statements now. The condition fails, it will come obviously out of the while loop. This is about a while loop. Let us see an example. See, here, observe here, here is the program. See, we need to print some name for 10 times. The same program I have written already using for loop. Now let us see, we'll go and we'll use, yes, we'll use the while loop. Okay. See, respond some of you. Are you able to look it into my screen now, online compiler?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Yeah,
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
very good.
Yes, ma'am.
See, okay, enough as for me. See, I want to run now a while loop. Okay. See, while loop syntax we have seen first only. Let us recall while loop syntax now. See, first only what we have to do, we have to initialize. Okay. Initialize is nothing but what? We have to write some variable as an integer or something based on the requirement. And it should be initialize is nothing but you have to assign some value. I gave here a 0 initialization, and after that I have to write while along with the condition. See here, what is my requirement here? I have to print some numbers. Sir, 230.
Ma'am, audio cut అయిపోయింది ma'am.
Yes. Wait. Okay. See, initialization I is equal to 0 I did, and after that I have to write the condition using the while. Okay, so my requirement here is I just wanted to print some values or some name Aditya for 10 times. Okay, see all of you switch off your videos. Don't switch on your videos now. Okay, see, while it is a syntax I'm writing, you also write somewhere in your notebooks. Okay, see, I just wanted to print for how many times? 10 times. So initialization, this is what I'm calling condition. I less than or equal to 10 is my condition. So it is a loop statement. I have to open and close. Okay. And what should I do is I have to write something like I just wanted to print a message Aditya slash n, you know, right? Slash n, it will prints every time in next line. Okay. I just wanted to print Aditya how many times? 10 times. So I less than or equal to 10 I have written. And after printing that Aditya for 10 times, okay, I have to exit. And initially I did I is equal to 0. And my condition I gave I less than or equal to 10. But I have to increment, no, every time after I have displayed Aditya, I have to increment the value, I variable. So what I have to do is I have to write the I plus plus. I repeat, look at into this syntax. Initialization, what I wrote here in the initialization, I did simply in the initialization part, what I did, I have simply written I is equal to 0 in the program. Okay, I is equal to 0. After that, while condition, I written I less than or equal to 10. See, I less than or equal to 10 means what happened? 10 times the I value is going to be tested. Okay, every time I have to increase the I value. So that is the reason incrementation operator I have been used. That is what? Plus plus. Okay, see I plus plus. This is what I have simply added in my code. You can look at here. Okay, I is equal to 0, I less than 10. See, 10 times what I want to print, Aditya. That name I want to print for 10 times. See, here try to understand how it is working. See, I is equal to 0. After that, it is checking here. What it is going to be checking? I less than or equal to 10. Is it right or not? It is checks the condition. Okay. See, initially I gave I is equal to 0 in that code. Okay. See, it is checking yes, it is right. So what happens? So it is prints the Aditya here. First time. And after printing I plus plus is nothing but what happened? My 0 will become 1. Because in my program I assigned I is equal to 0 here. Okay. See, I is equal to 0 I assigned. So 0 will become 0 plus plus. 0 plus 1. So 1. So after printing Aditya, the value is incremented by 1. So my I becomes 1 here. Okay. After that, again it is printing Aditya, again incremented. And second time I is equal to becomes 2. 2 is less than or equal to 10. Yes, the condition satisfied. So what happened? Aditya is going to be printed for the second time. So here on the screen, Aditya is going to be printed and my I value is now incremented. Already I is 2 here. 2 plus 1. 2 plus 1 becomes 3. See, now what happened? When I is equal to 3, again condition is going to be verified. 3 less than or equal to 10 prints Aditya for third time here on the screen. And after printing, it is incrementing by one value. So 3 plus 1 is equal to 4. So for the fourth time, again I is equal to 4. It checks I 4 less than or equal to 10 and prints for the fourth time Aditya. And after printing, what happens? It is going to be increments 4 plus 1, fifth. So I is equal to 5, 5 less than or equal to 10, prints Aditya for the fifth time, and after that, incremented by 1, 6. So, like that, every time, how it is happening is, first time initialized, next time checks the condition, prints the Aditya, increments the value, and after incrementing, again it will come here to check the condition. So every time it checks the condition, it prints, it increments. Again, it is checks the condition, prints and increments. So these things are going to be repeatedly executed. Okay. See, okay. So every time when you are going to be satisfied the condition, okay. So it is printing the Aditya. After that, it is incrementing the value. So if you observe from here, this two, so starting from this while loop condition and still incrementation, the entire thing will be in the loop. So repeatedly executes the statement. So that's why now you are calling it is a loop, right? So this is what a while loop. So here I have executed, okay. So it is printing, okay, 10 times I less than or equal to 10. No? So totally starting from 0, it is printing 11 times the Aditya message. Okay, see, for example, I want to print here, I'm changing my code. I want to print simply I value. See, I want to print I value for, okay, is it audible, ma? Everyone is following, right? Yes,
Yes,
tell
ma'am.
me.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. See, now what I want to do is I just wanted to print, see, starting from 1 to 10 numbers. Okay, 1 to 10 numbers I want to print, ma. So what should I do? I is equal to 1, I less than or equal to 10, print out percentage D. Okay, it is an integer, no? So percentage D, comma, I. I'm printing I value, no? So I and I plus D. So every time it is printing, after that it is incrementing the value, again checking the condition, printing, incrementing. So these three statements are every time repeatedly executed. Up to how many times still the condition is going to be becomes failure. See, last incrementation value for I is what? 10. Here 10. Here incremented 10. So 10 less than or equal to 10. It is satisfied. Prints 10 value. Okay, prints what? I value prints here. It is a 10. And after that, what happened? It is increments again I value. So now my I becomes 11. So 11 less than or equal to 10. Is it right? No, it is a false statement. What happened? Then it is exits from this loop and here it returns 0 to main. Okay, so only 10 numbers are going to be printed. See, if you want to check now what is the value of my I, again you can write here. See, okay. See, again, you can write here the same statement. Let us check. See, you can check various ways your compiler. See, I'll write here. You observe what is going to be happens here. Okay, what happened? Tell me. I'll run once. Wait. See what I told here. What I told. See here in the loop I am printing I value. Okay, in the loop it is going to be printing up to 10 number. But here when after 10 it is incremented I value as a 1. What is the I value? If I wanted to know here, what happens? I just wanted to write again the printf statement here. So what is going to be printed here? Every time I value after exiting from the loop, what is the I value it is printing? So you can get here I 1 to 11. Okay. See how the compiler is taking, you have to observe. Okay. See, for example, I just wanted to write only simply double quotations I. I just only noted I. We'll see what happens. Okay, what it is printing? Only I. It doesn't print anything. See, if you want to print the I value, what it is happening, you have to give percentage D. Okay, it doesn't print anything, right, without percentage D, because the percentage D only gives you the address of the location. Okay, see, the address of the location means where the I value is available. Okay, so the I value where available, the compiler will go to that location and access the incremented value of I. Then only you will get that 11 also. Okay, so this is what your values. Okay, if you observe now what happened, see, I less than or equal to 10, 10 times 1 to 10 numbers printed here, and when you are going to be trying to print the incremented value of I, now it becomes 11. So exactly at 11 number, 11 less than or equal to 10 condition is going to be satisfied, not satisfied. So when condition fails, the I is going to be exit. The controller is going to be exit from the while loop. So if you want to know what is the I value, already it was incremented. Now here you will get the 11 here. Got it? Okay. See, this is about while loop, and similarly you can try with lot of examples. I have executed to Aditya 10 times. I have printed 1 to 10 numbers. Okay, and see, you can change number of times the logic as per requirement. See, I have initialized 1, so you are getting like this. I just wanted to initialize with 11, and I wanted to write it 20 here. See, what I did here, starting, see, doesn't mean that every time I should be initialized with a 1 or 0. You can give as per your requirement. See, here I wanted to print the numbers on the screen. So I written a C program to print number values of integers 11 to 20. So what I have to write, I have to initialize then I value with a 11. And my condition should be less than or equal to 20. See, I just wanted to print up to 200. Yes, you can do 11 to up to 200 you are going to be getting. You can be able to see, here last number is 200. Okay. See, for example, I wanted to start my number with 100. Then you have to initialize I is equal to 100. So I is equal to 100, the starting number, and the last number is 200. See, based on our requirement, we can write as it is the programming. Okay. See, this is about while loop. Let us see one more example regarding the while loop. So here what I want to do is, I just wanted to print the sum of 10 numbers. Okay, starting from 1 to 10 numbers I have to add 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 10. This is what I want to do. For this, we'll see how to write a program. Okay, see, again, let us start from here. I'll take my first I value as a I, and I should take another value. I'll define as a sum. I should initialize it. Sum is equal to 0. And how many numbers I want to add means I just wanted to add 10 numbers. Okay, I wanted to add how many numbers? 10 numbers. See, I less than or equal to 10. Why I wrote here? Because 10 numbers only I wanted to add. Okay, see what I have to write here, see, every time I have to initialize sum is equal to 0, no? The sum is filled with 0 only. I have to take sum plus I. See what happens, 0, first sum is consisting, 0 plus I value is 1. First sum value is 1. And after that, sum becomes 1 and plus, now my I is incremented and it becomes 2. See, like this, you have to increment every time. Okay. See, once this loop is completed, then finally after the loop, I just wanted to print what I want to print. Total of 10 numbers. So that is also I declared as an integer. So I have to write like a percentage d. And what I want to print sum, because my total addition of 1 to 10 numbers is available in a sum variable. So I have to write percentage d comma sum. Okay, see like this. See, even we know, right, sum of 10 numbers or sum of n numbers, we have a formula n into n plus 1 by 2. If you do, you'll get like this. It is a C logic we have to use. Okay, see, I have taken a I is equal to 0, or you can write 1. Okay, see, 1 is the first number I want to add, and sum should be initialized with a 0. See, every time it checks the condition. It is satisfied. It is added one by one all numbers and stored in some variable. And every time after you have been added with one number to the sum, you have been incremented by one value. I plus plus is equal to, we know I is equal to I plus 1, increment operator. So when the condition becomes I value as a 10, so the 10 finally added to the sum and incremented I with 11. Here the condition is not satisfied. So all the additional value we got 55. So the 55 is going to be printed here. Okay, see this is one more example. So three examples we have been executed for while loop, and still you can do how much you want. Okay, and still we have a lot of examples here. Okay, sum of 1 to 10 numbers already writing, and 50 numbers of even numbers I can select and I can run. Okay, we'll see later all of these. See, let us recall while loop. A while loop is a entry controlled looping statement. Pre-test condition statement is a while loop. So if the condition is satisfied, then we can execute group of statements, block of statements repeatedly. Till the condition becomes fails, you can execute the set of statements repeatedly in the while loop. Okay. So before coming to the while loop only, normally we will initialize. In the while, you will check the condition. After that, you will execute code. After that, you can exit from the loop, and even in there itself you can write increment or decrement. That is about a while. Okay, and here for loop and while loop almost a similar kind of looping statements. Both are entry control statements, but only the structure wise, syntax wise only there is a difference. Okay, and now let us see one more looping statement, which is a do while. Okay, so do while statement is also a looping statement in C. Okay, but there is a lot of difference, okay, between while and for and do while. For and while both are almost working in similar process, only the syntactically those are different. But coming to the do while, even the working process also it is different. Of course, it is also a looping statement. Iteratively, repeatedly, it is executing the part of the code or group of the statements. Okay, but still, the do while is a post-tested loop. It is an exit-controlled looping statement. Observe here, very important point. You have to understand the difference between while and do while looping statement. Very important question for exam. A do while is a post-tested looping statement. You can also say it is an exit controlled statement. See, exist controlled statement, exit, EXIT. Exit controlled looping statement, or you can also say post tested. Okay, see, post tested looping statement. Post tested looping statement is nothing but, as the name it is indicating, later after execution it will test the condition. But in while, what happened, first you will check the condition. If it is satisfied, then only it will execute block of statements. But in do while, what happens, first it will execute at least once. After that only it will go and check the condition. So we are calling it as a post tested looping statement. Okay, so using the do while loop, we can repeat the execution several parts of the statements. Let us see the syntax first. First, you can initialize similar to the while loop here, but where it is dissimilar with while loop is nothing but we'll start with the keyword do. Later, we'll open the loop, and here you will write which is the code to be executed, the set of statements which we wanted to iteratively run in the code. And after that, you'll write increment or decrement. Okay, but here if you observe, it is completely different from while. See, at last you'll write a condition. Again, you'll use while as a keyword, and in brackets you'll write the condition. Okay, see, syntax I'll repeat: initialization, do, open the bracket, write somewhere code to be executed, increment or decrement, and after that you will write the while. So in the while you will write the condition. Okay, see, this is the reason we are calling it as a pre-tested loop. We'll write at last the condition. But in while statement, we'll write first only the condition. It is an entry controlled looping statement, pre-tested looping statement. You'll test the condition first in while loop. But in do while, what we'll do, at last we'll check the condition. First we'll execute. Okay, we'll see when you're running the program, you'll get understand. See, this is what again the looping, okay, the loop of a do while, the syntax here. See, this is what you can understand from here, the working process. First, do. Do means execute. You can understand like do means execute. Okay, what need to be executed? The set of statements, the block of statement you can execute. After that only we will check the condition. After that only we'll check the condition, not very first. At last we'll check the condition. Before checking the condition only, you are going to be executing. Okay, and once if you check the condition, if it is true, you'll continue again the execution. If it is false, you'll exit from the loop. Okay, see, let us recall the while loop again. The working process of a while loop, let us see. So it is simply reverse. Somehow you can understand like that. In a while loop, if you observe here, first you will check the condition. Later, if it is false, then only you will exit from the loop. If it is true, you will be in the loop only. You'll check the condition. If it is true, you'll execute the statement. Otherwise, you'll exit from the loop. This is about a while loop. But whenever you are coming for a do while, what happened, first we will reverse it. This diagram, if you reverse it, you will get. See, first you will execute do. If it is true or false, we won't check the condition first. We'll execute, do it first. Later, we'll check the condition. If it is false, we'll execute. If it is true, again we'll execute. Second time, you'll execute the set of statements here. So that is the reason we can say in the do while, at least once every statement is going to be executed in the loop. Okay, see, let us see how the do while is going to be executed. So we'll see an example program. I just wanted to print again the Aditya for 10 times. The same example we have been executed using a for loop. Now we'll practice with a do while. We'll see the execution of this program and we'll stop the class. Okay. See, I want to print for 10 times now. I am initializing my I with 1. And what I want to do is I have to use do while loop. So this is what my syntax, start with do. And what I want to do is I just wanted to print Aditya, okay, for 10 times. Okay. See now, see observe here. Here I am writing my while condition. While here, what should be my condition? I less than or equal to 10. And here, if you observe after while do in the do while, after writing while, you have to end with a semicolon. Observe here. Okay. You have to end with a semicolon while I less than or equal to 10. Okay. See what happened? Less than or equal to 10 I gave. Okay. See, otherwise, if you are not writing like this, it is going to be gives you an error. Okay. See, I repeat. Okay? Like this, I noted. See, but here, every loop statement you have to initialize first. You have to write the condition as well as you have to write what? Either incrementation or decrementation. If you are not writing, it will takes to you in the infinite loop. I did not write no, that's why you are going to be displaying like this Aditya for 1000 more than 10 times. So if I write I plus plus, you'll get the output exactly 10 times. Okay, see, my program is very simple. I have taken a variable I, which is I is equal to 1, integer variable, that's why int I is equal to 1. I wanted to use the do while here, write do as a keyword, open the looping statement parenthesis. So here I wanted to print Aditya. Okay, see, so I written in a printf statement as my message as an Aditya. So every time after it is printing, I wanted to increment the I value. So I becomes here 2. Initially 1 no. After printing Aditya, my I value is how much? Become 2. I plus plus is equal to I is equal to I plus 1. My I is 1 initially. I have initialized. So my I become 2 here. So 2 less than or equal to 10. The condition satisfies. See, after execution, you are checking the condition. So what happens? Again, it will become here, prints the Aditya. For example, let us take if my condition uh, becomes failure, we'll see what happened. I is equal to 1, I have initialized, and I wrote my condition as I less than or equal to 0. Okay, so what happened? See, I have initialized I is equal to 1. Listen carefully. If I is equal to 1, it is an initialization. I assigned with a 1. I have used do while loop. We know a do while at least once it is executing every statement which has been written in the do loop, in the do while loop. I written an statement, I want to execute it, Aditya, in printf statement. I have incremented my I value. And what I did, I have written a condition I less than or equal to 0. I should be less than or equal to 0. I should be either 0 or minus. Okay, so but what I initialized already, I is equal to 1. So my condition here itself, it is failures. But before condition verification, already my controller, my compiler printed Aditya, okay, in my screen. So when the condition fails, no, before that only I printed Aditya. So what happened? When condition fails, it becomes out of the loop. So it won't take again. See, for example, if I have written like this, I less than or equal to 10, the condition is satisfied. So you are going to be displaying for 10 times. Got it? See, so I don't wanted to print Aditya. I just wanted to print some I value only. I want to print. Let us take. I want to print I value. Every time I incrementing, and I just want to print my I value. Then what you have to write? You have to write percentage %d because it is an integer and I. So this is a program I have written to print to display integer number starting from 1 to 10. Got it? See 1 to 10 numbers. We have seen using a for loop. We have seen using a while loop. This is what the code in this way I have to write to display 1 to 10 numbers using a do while. Okay. See, for example, I just wanted to initialize with 10 and I wanted to write my condition I should be less than or equal to 100. Then starting from 10 number to 100 I can display. What I did, I have initialized with 10. So first number should be 10. And I have wrote a condition I should be less than or equal to 100. So I can display 10 to 100 numbers. Last number is 100. Okay. For example, I just wanted to print from 5 to 10 numbers. Okay. 5 to 10 numbers I wanted to display on screen. So then you have to initialize I is equal to 5 and you can write the condition I should be less than or equal to 10. So 5 to 10 numbers you can display. Okay. See, let us see here. I wanted to write like this. If I write decrementation operation, what happens? We'll check. Okay. See, I wrote initially starting from 5 to 0 I have displayed and including that I less than or equal to 10 I wrote no. So what happened? So even minus values also displayed here. Okay. See, let us see. We'll write I is equal to 0. My condition I written like that I is equal to 0. Then what happened? Only once 5 is executed. If I write like this, I should be greater than 5. See, you have to check with various values. See what I did? I have displayed only 5 numbers, but in reverse order I have displayed 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See, logically you have to think, you have to analyze, you have to understand the coding part, then only you can write the programs. What I did here simply, I have assigned my I value as a 5 because I want to display my output as 5 to 1. See, I am printing first starting from 5 and what I did, I have written the decrementation operator. So what happened? After printing 5 value, you can decrement the I value. So 5 minus 1, 4. So 4 now my I value. It is testing with a condition I greater than 0. Yes, satisfied. So it will come again into the loop. So now my 4 is going to be displayed. After displaying the 4, now I minus minus. 4 minus 1, 3. Okay, 3 is greater than 0, satisfied. So printf. So 3 is going to be printed here. And after that 3 minus minus. So 3 minus 1 is equal to 2. 2 greater than 0, it is satisfied. So again, it comes into the do while loop and it is printing 2. After printing 2, again decrements 2 minus 1. 2 minus minus means 2 minus 1. So 1 is going to be displayed now. So 1 obviously greater than 0. But what is my I value? 5. Okay, so 5 only initialized. So 5 only up to the 1 I can display. Okay, 1 also greater than 0, right? So after displaying 1, 1 minus minus means 1 minus 1, it is 0. 0 greater than 0, it condition fails. So it exits from the loop. So in this way, you can do the programming. So we have completed loop and tomorrow's concept is very important, ma. So in tomorrow's class, we'll see the arrays and not only that, see what I'm doing, I just wanted to execute all the programs. Even see in the next class, no, I'll execute even number, palindrome number, and some of the digits. What I do is I'll execute the same program using all loops. See, loops can be used to write the programming. You can use the loop for loop. You can use do while for implementing same problem. Okay, we'll do like that. Okay. Still, if you have any questions, you can ask me. Any questions, ma? Anyone is having any questions?